Welcome back to the channel, guys. The Banshee project continues. Now, I know in the last video I told you that we would be doing the frame next. Well, between the weather being unsettled and my initial plan of using my brother's blast pot, things have changed on that. I mean, I'll talk about that further in the next video on that, so stay tuned for that. This video here, I figured it's a good day to being at the workbench, being that the weather is not so great, and I figure we'll tear into this Banshee motor. There's a lot of unknowns on this thing. Let me show you. First off, this kind of concerns me. I mean, I'm hoping that's just dirt that accumulated on top of it, but with no intake on it or carbs, it could have been very easy for a mouse or rodent to get down in there and, I mean, totally wreak havoc on. So I'm hoping and praying that that didn't happen with this motor. That's the first concern. Second concern is whether it's locked up or not. I don't know that yet. I will tell you off camera, I did loosen these the other night and spray some WD-40 down in there just to kind of help it, let it soak for a little bit. I figure that way, if it's locked up, it might help it, but if not, you know, it'll give me a fighting chance to not damage anything worse, you know. So I did that off camera. I didn't think you guys would care if I did that. Plus I soaked these bolts down a little bit. They're pretty rusty to get these nuts off, because the last thing you want to do is damage any of that stuff. I mean, everything for this quad is very expensive, so the less stuff you can damage or hurt and the less you can reuse, the better off you're going to be. So that's what I'm trying to do, being I'm on a tight budget and just trying to get this thing so it runs and it's together again. And then down here, I figure we'll start with this cover. We'll take it off and we'll see if the motor rotates before I take the jugs off, because ideally it'd be nice if it rotated, and it'll help us along getting these jugs off. It'll make it you know, a lot less harder to do if it rotates. If not, we're gonna kind of be in for it here. Well, let me get the thing set up here and we'll start ripping her down and see what unknowns await us in this thing. Well, guys, I had to loosen these up off camera because they were on there. I mean, I had to, luckily I have one of these in a little impact and took a 3/8 socket and put my adapter in there and just took and weld on them. I mean, they were on there. Same with the shifter bolt. It took this impact, everything it had, and then some to get it loose. I just did them off camera because I was shaking the bench around, beating on it. But I mean, if this is any indication how long this motor's sat, I think we're gonna be in for it. But let's finish getting these off and see what we're dealing with here. See if this thing's gonna rotate or not. I already took the bottom ones off because I had to jack the bottom part of the motor up, but there's two underneath as well, aside from these top ones. But yeah, I mean, they were seized in there good. Without that little impact tool, I seriously doubt you'd get them. Try to keep these in order so we know what's what. That's one thing you gotta pay attention to. These are all different lengths, so it's kind of good to mark them so when you gotta put it back together, you know what's what. Set that over there for now. Oh, buddy, it ain't seized up, so that's good. So we're good there. All right, that's a huge relief. Well, we'll continue on with getting the head off here. Get these plugs out. Here, I'll give you a better show here with this. Looks like there's antifreeze still in it, so I mean, that's even good. I would have never guessed that in 1,000 years that there was still antifreeze in this thing. That might have kept it from seizing up, maybe even. I mean, I don't know. But we got the rest of these two couple 12mm bolts off the back, and pull these jugs off, see what we got. Alrighty, let's see. 212 more millimeters. I want to get off there. Alrighty, this side. Oh. Oh, we got a couple on top here too. I just noticed. Didn't even see those before. After all, this is a big platform holding this all on. Penetration on there just to help it out a little bit. We'll get some of these tools out of the way real quick because I have a feeling that antifreeze is going to be coming out here. I want that all over our tools. This matter goes on this mat a little bit. Set these nuts here. Over there. Alright, let's grab these. See if we can slide this up off. Maybe we can just kind of let the pistons do the work. Yeah. Boy, they're gliding nice in there. But see if we can get these pried up off. Some more bolt. Oh, I see. We got a couple more up here front too. On there. All right, now let's try. Let's try cranking it again. That'll help a little bit. Heck, they're gliding so nice in there you can't even get it to help you. Let's see. Sure we got everything. Alrighty. Same deal, maybe we just gotta tap on a little bit. Just a wee little tad bit. This rag ready. So we're gonna have some stuff coming out for sure. See if we can get the piston, see if we can get down some more. No, we gotta go the other way. Right there. pry on too much, or even, like I said, we just want to take it nice and easy. Yep, it's almost up off, man. We'll just keep doing that a little bit. I'm just tapping it now. I know a lot of people are like freaking out, like, oh no, you're hitting it, man. Just tapping it enough to kind of help it off. There we go. Bingo. There's one. I mean, really, doesn't look too bad. We'll get the other one off and I'll give you guys a close-up look at what we got going on here. Set this one out of the way for the moment. Oh boy, it looks like we did have something in there though as well. Oof. Oof da. Well, let's get this one off and see. There, let's crank it back down. Oof. Probably should just get that all out of there. Get a sweeper. Let me show you what we got going on here. You guys ain't gonna believe it. I knew we might find some ugly surprise in here, but I would have never guessed this. It's almost like a huge, I guess you'd say mud dauber's nest. If anything, I thought it'd been a mouse nest, but yeah, I'm going to get the sweeper and sweep this out before we go any further. We really don't want all that down in the bottom end, even though I am going to take it apart as well and check everything. It's still just one extra thing you don't want to have to do. But there's the piston. I mean, all in all, from what I can tell so far, it doesn't look too bad. So, well, go grab a sweeper here and we'll get this swept out. Well, there you have it, guys. I took the other one off camera. I took and swept out the mud dauber nest in this one. And this cylinder, it was a little bit more of a fighter to get off, but at least there's no mud dauber's nest down in it that I can see, you know. But in either case, I'm going to pull this thing completely apart and, you know, clean it real good. You couldn't, you know, you could obviously not leave it like that. But, I don't know. I'm going to have to do some measurements and specs here, see what bore this is, if it's stock or on a bigger one. But the pistons and rings don't look that bad. I mean, I might just throw new ones in just to be good on the safe side. But the cylinders, I think we'll be able to reuse them. I mean, I don't know if you can really see. This one here is the worst. It's got some rust at the bottom, but that might clean up. I mean, I don't know. Just have to try and see. I might actually take that to a buddy of mine who has the hone balls. I don't have those. I just have the regular old school car hone, and I just don't know if that would be good for this. I'd sooner just throw a couple bucks his way and have him do the ball, you know, down through it, and see if that'll clean up. I guess if it won't clean up, then I might very well be looking at boring it out or just getting a different set of jugs. I see they have jug kits on eBay there, and you could even go a little bit bigger than stock if you want to bump it up to 370. So that's something to think about. But like I said, I'm trying to get by without, you know, my budget. I'm trying to get by so that I can get this thing together. I'm not sitting here dumping all the money into one thing and it's just sitting for the next several years. So yeah, I mean, I'm happier. I mean, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than what it was. I noticed too, we got something missing up here. I'm assuming that's part of the clutch. I figure we'll take that all off next and see what's going on there. And I'll probably pull the flywheel here and see what's going on behind it. But yeah, it's coming along here. Definitely some surprises, but all in all, not the worst that could have ever happened. So let's just keep plugging away here and see what else we can find. Well, one thing you guys have to watch is when you set this gauge down there, don't want to go in the water ports. Oh my goodness. We were off camera there for a bit struggling. We got out there, everything's good. I figure, just eyeballing it, it's the same down through. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. But let's measure this one and just, you just never know with people. Let's just make sure we've got both the same cylinders. I mean, I'm pretty sure we do, but you never know. Somebody just like hurrying through something together and put two different cylinders on it. It's better off just to be safe than sorry to know that. Alrighty, let's see. This thing doesn't always cooperate the hell you want it. Oh, come on, you. Let's get it in there a little bit. Yep, same measurement, 64. See, our stock bore, so that's good to know. I think, from what I can tell so far, like I'll have my buddy, he's at the machine shop basically. I'll have him look at him, just a second opinion, but I think we're going to be good. I think we can just hone them out. And you honestly might be able to clean these up and just use new rings, but I think just to be safe, because this is a high performance motor, I think I'll just put new piston and rings in it and call it good. So unless he tells me otherwise, because he's got all the fancy equipment, I mean, this is what I'm working with. Unless he tells me otherwise, I mean, I think we're just gonna clean these up and run them. If he tells me something different, then maybe we'll look into getting either boring these out or getting another set of jugs, which I'm hoping not, but it is what it is, That's what it is. That's what we gotta do to get this together and running. So, alrighty. Well, now we know that stuff. Put this away. Shut that off. And that there. As far as the crank goes, guys, testing them here, and I mean, you can have back and forth movement. That's normal. But it's the up and down movement you don't want. And from what I can tell so far, there's no up and down movement. So I think the crank's definitely good. I mean, it actually looks fairly new. I'm gonna say maybe whoever had this, put a new crank in it and just it never got ran much. So I mean, I think the crank's gonna be fine. But well, I think I'm gonna take a break here and we'll come back and we'll start tearing some more stuff apart on this and get it all the way down, because like I said, we're gonna have to take it all the way apart to see everything that's going on, see what's going on with the clutch, make sure we got the nest completely out of the crank that was in there, and go from there. So stay tuned here. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. It's been a couple days since the last footage here. I went back and reviewed what I had, and I'm sorry for where I was hitting the screws loose. I didn't realize the pounding on the table was making the camera jump, so I'll try to edit it as best as I can. I'm still learning that part of this stuff. As much as I know from mechanics, I don't know with videotaping and doing videos on YouTube. That's all new to me. So I mean, just we'll get better, I promise. Just bear with me. This channel's all about inspiring you to do stuff. I've gotten inspired to try to give this a shot. So I apologize in advance for any weird glitches or stuff, you know, that I wasn't aware of when videotaping. That's the thing with mechanics. You can't go back and do take two. Once the things either are part together, it's done, unless you're like a glutton for punishment. You're honestly going to put it all back together and undo it all again. I'm sorry, I don't have the time to do that or the money. So it is what it is. Just like I said, bear with me. We'll get better at it. You know, I'm learning. Trying to figure these angles out. This, where I'm working on this motor, isn't the most ideal place, but it's the only place I have that's kind of out of the weather, and the weather's just been horrible here. It's been raining and storming all the time. We keep joking we're probably got to build an ark to get the hell out of here. I mean, it's been that bad, like every day it rains. So anyhow, we're back on the motor here, and I'll show you. Let me see if I can put this down over here so you can see. But anyhow, as you can see, I took one of the pistons off camera, and I'm gonna give you a close-up of it there. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, honestly, I think they could be reused. Like I said, I'm gonna go see my buddy Al, and I mean, if he tells me different. I was trying to see what brand they were. I marked this was the driver's side one so that I know in case you got to put them back to how they were. But I couldn't tell you what brand. There's a number on them. I'll have to run that and maybe see. It's a 196B. Maybe that would tell me who the manufacturer is. But yeah, I got that off. I learned real fast that when you go to put the wrist pin out on this, at least this one anyhow, it didn't want to go out from what we just say left to right, facing it like this. I thought that'd be the easier way because with the other piston over here, but it quickly showed me that the wrist pin wanted to go out this way from right to left. So on camera here, we'll do the other one. These little circlips, they're a bit of a bugger. I found the best thing to work is these little picks from Harbor Freight. Seems to work the best. You gotta kind of just get it in the notch there, and just pry it around a little bit. Normally most guys would be like, don't drop it in the motor, but that doesn't really matter for us anyhow because we are taking it apart, so that's no big deal. Like, yep, there you have it right there. That one went down in. Like I said, though, no big deal. We're going to be tearing it apart. Just have to remember it did that. But if you don't want to deal with that, stuff rags down in the, stuff them down in the ports. I would do that, but I'm limited on my blue paper towels. Come to find out that rodents like these. I wasn't aware that I had a rodent situation down here, and come down and they have my blue paper towels all tore up and all over the place. And yeah, I guess that's something I'm going to have to kind of like, you know, keep in a container or keep in the house, because whatever's in those paper towels, boy, they sure do love them. They eat it right up. Yeah, they're a little bit of a bugger. This one's being a little bit of a pain. Oh, we're getting there. Biggest thing to do is get your hook in there and just kind of twist a little bit. There, we got that one without going in, and then the other two are over here from the other side. Well, we'll see how this one wants to come out. Ideally, guys will tell you want to use a C-clamp to get these out. I've tried it. Good luck. You'll probably, if you're like think about reusing the pistons like I am, you kind of probably just want to stay away from that idea because you could moor your piston up, you know, with the clamp. I just found the best way is just find out kind of how it wants to come out. With this one, we have 11mm socket. That's about the same size, you know, just slightly smaller in the wrist pin. And what we'll do is we'll try hammering out this way. I mean, I just give it light taps. You don't want to go full bore on it, and you will mess your connecting rod or something up. You just, you know, if it wants to come that way, it'll, trust me, it'll move. See if it's moving at all. Oh yeah. Or, well, no, maybe not. Well, let's see if it wants to go the other way. Best way to do is just don't fight it. Just see what it'll tell you what way it wants to come out. So that's what we'll do. Let's see if we can bring this up. It's cranked. See if we can. There we go. That way I can get into it a little bit better. Let's see if it wants to come out this way then. I'm just lightly tapping it. I mean, just barely giving her the onions. Looks like it's coming. Sorry if the table's moving. Right there, we might be able to just grab that with the pliers and bring it the rest of the way. Or even my glove. Might be able to bring it the rest of the way without having to, or just push on it. There we go. So that's probably out enough to bring it out. Maybe just a touch more. Just a tad tickle more. I'm going to say something happened to that piston there. We might not be able to use it. Something happened. I just get one more little tippy tap. Come on. Oh, I see what's going on. We gotta get that so it doesn't want to slide over here. It's kind of caught on the sleeve though. Well, let's see if we can. Well, let's see. What can we use? See if we can get this back out, maybe just a touch. Just a tickle. That's the only problem doing this method. Sometimes even though your socket's smaller, it'll get caught up in there, and you just, just gotta get something good enough on it to wiggle it back out a little bit. Yeah, that's just messing the paint up on the socket. It's not doing nothing. Let's just see if we can bulldog this off. We can just slide that out of the way. I think we have to pound it in a little bit more. just gotta get that out. There we go. Being a bugger, but that's just all part of it. I keep telling my kids, I said, if you have a day where everything went right, cherish it, because that's a day few far in between, because usually it's going to be the other way around. Nothing's ever going to go as planned. But at least you guys, I'm showing you, I mean, a lot of people probably edit this out, but at least you can see the struggle. There we got her off. That one was stuck a little bit. The other one came out a little bit easier. I think our rod's fine. I mean, you're supposed to have a little back and forth moving, I think. I think it's fine. I don't know. Alrighty, well, that's that. Got those off. That is a little concern. There's some rust on this crank. Man, I was really hoping we could get away with just doing a top end, but I mean, all the time and money and effort I'm going to be putting into this, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how they clean up, see how everything measures out, but I might honestly have to get a new crank for it. I mean, I don't like the play that's in this. That one's not as bad. But if you're going to do one crank, you might as well do them both. Yeah, that's loose. I don't like that at all. Alright, well, let's see. On this clutch cover here, I took the bottom bolts off camera, or screws I should say, and loosened them all up because I don't want the camera jumping like when I did the flywheel side. But each one of these you had to use the impact again, you know, the not an impact gun, but you know, your impact that you bang on and turn a screw. If you're going to do this job, you almost have to have one of those, or you'll never get it apart. You'll struggle forever. Needless to say, I think I'm going to invest in new hardware on this. The hardware it's on it, you could tell whoever previously had this, I mean, they stripped it out a little bit. I still was able to get them off, but it's just one of those things where, you know, what's a new set, like 10, 15 bucks? You might as well just do it and have that peace of mind. I'm probably going to do with the head studs and stuff too, just because what I was taught in automotive is, you know, you just replace your head studs. You know, you don't piss around reusing them. I'm sure there's guys that do, but just for an added peace of mind. The other thing I found interesting on this cover, and you don't run into this too much on lawn motors, is there was only one bolt that was longer than the rest. I marked it here as this one on the very end by the oil fill cap. That was the only one that was longer. All the other ones are the exact same length minus this cover here. This cover here, they're different sizes. But this big main cover, they're all the same except that very end one. Well, let's see if she'll come off. I think we got all the screws out of the way. Let's see if it'll, maybe I'll probably just give her a little tippity tap. Oh yeah. This is the moment of truth here. We'll see what's going on with this clutch, what's all missing. Assuming that must be the water pump there. Take a look at that. That might be something we, even if it looks okay, we might want to replace it, because that's a crucial thing. If you have that go, oh boy, you're in trouble. Let's see, I'm running out of room to set stuff. Like I said, this isn't ideal, but it's what I got. Sometimes you just gotta work with what you got. It looks like somebody had a nut off. So somebody was definitely in here. As far as, I mean, what I can tell so far, everything looks good here. I'm surprised. I figured the basket would have been thrashed. Well, let's see what size those are, how easy those going to break loose. I guess they're probably 10. Probably I'll get this so you guys can see what I'm doing. This might actually be a job for the impact, because that's going to want to turn. See what the impact will do. Make short work of it. Probably do a cross pattern, taking it off, that way ain't nothing warped. So the last thing we don't want to buy any more parts than we got to. Alright, I made short work of that. Assuming this hub should come off now. Maybe not. Okay, I see this screw here has a little Phillips. Let's see what that does. See if that. I'll strip it out. I'm assuming that's supposed to come out. That's something I'm going to have to do off camera, because you guys will be bouncing all around hitting it with the impact. But I don't know this. This looks like it should just slide off above it. Let's see. Should we can get a screwdriver in here somewhere, just a wee little bit. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. Of course, here's all the. Just see if we can take them all off as one pack, maybe. Although they're stuck in there pretty good. Probably from sitting. He knows how, I mean, he said 20 some years this thing's been sitting, so. Maybe what we'll do is take them off, you know, and lay them down backwards, and then we can flip them around, they'll be the right way. Wow, that's in there. There we go. Sorry about the dog barking. My dog's an idiot. She barks at everything. Bean, quit it. Knock it off. Daddy can hear you. Take a look at the... I mean, aside from having some, like, slight surface rust, I mean, these don't look bad. But I probably can't, with the rust on there, probably not a good idea to reuse them. Oh yeah, look at that. Even though there was oil in here, the stuff's still like pitted, kind of, in some areas. Not real bad. I mean, they might clean up with some steel wool. Shut you guys off for a minute. I gotta go take care of the dog. Well, guys, I did some things off camera. This thing here, boy, you want to talk about a son of a gun. That's what I kind of did off camera. It fought me, and as you can see, I had to notch it. I mean, it was like seized in there to get that off. I mean, most of the videos I watch, the people take that out. It just comes right out for them. And the same with the rod here. I mean, people pull it right out like that sucker, it's in there. I mean, you can see I'm shaking the whole bench like it's seized in there. I put a bunch of this CR freeze off. Figure we'll, you know, leave that sitting there a little bit and maybe that'll come out. And same with this gear here. Luckily, I didn't have to take it off first. Like most people say, oh, you got to take that gear off first for the basket to come off. You just get that lined up so there's no pressure on the teeth and the basket will come right out. But this sucker here, same deal. I mean, it's it's on there. I don't know where that washer in the front seized and it's holding the rest of the works up. Same deal with it. I sprayed it. I kept looking to make sure there wasn't like some sort of clip or something. But I don't see anywhere where you could put like, you know, your needles in, your snap ring pliers in to move it. So I'm guessing it's just seized on there. You can see rust. So that's the other problematic thing we got going on. And then on top of that, I was trying to get remove these studs because I'm just gonna get new ones. I mean, they're rough, they're rusted. I mean, if I'm gonna put some money into this motor, you might as well some nice studs at least. Well, I did the old double the nut trick, and I tell you what, even though I got them super tight, it just, those studs are in there so bad, it just basically walking the nuts back off. So a whole nother problem there with those. Same deal, I soaked them in freeze off. We'll just have to let her sit. You know, maybe let her sit overnight. And so that's all the more I did off camera. I mean, we still got a lot to do on here that we gotta get off, like the shifter thing and all that, the star and all that. And a few other odds and ends, and on the other side I got the flywheel. But I think I'm gonna end this video here so I can get another video out to you guys because it's been a couple weeks since I last posted. I'm sorry about that, just, you know, life. I mean, I'm not a full-time YouTuber, we're just starting, so I have to work. And I've had some problems with some daily driver vehicles we got, so I've had to deal with that. And you know, I haven't had the time like I thought I would to work on this, so I just got to work on it here and there. So I think I'm going to end this video here. We'll continue tearing this motor apart. I'll try to show you more. I might just fight these things that are seized off camera unless you guys really want to see how to get them. I'm not even sure myself yet. I'm hoping just soaking them will loosen them up. I might have to do some research myself. Like I told you from the beginning, this is the first Banshee I've ever had. I mean, I know there's people probably on YouTube here to make me look like an idiot because they tear these down all the time. You know, it's like what they do for a living. But this is my first one tearing it down, and on top of it, it was sitting in a barn where it was basically rusting away. So everything's seized, everything's rusted. So I'm dealing with a lot more than what you'd averagely would if you just bought a blown up Banshee that was together in somebody's nice garage. So with that, please like and subscribe. It'll really help us out. I mean, I've had to do hard labor in my life to help somebody out, or cost money to help somebody out. This here, all you gotta do is like and subscribe. I mean, it's totally free. I promise you, you won't even break a sweat, and you wouldn't believe how much it'd probably help the channel and help me out. I'd really like to grow this channel. I got a lot of cool stuff besides this Banshee that I'd like to showcase on here and show you different things. But I mean, I need the motivation. If I'm not getting any views, likes, or subscriptions, it's like, what's the point? I might as well just work on it at my own time. So please help me out. Till the next video, I'll see you guys then. Hope you have a good day.